Hey, how's it going, Raz? How's your kits going? Well, that sounds good. At least you're progressing on it. How did this come out bigger than I... That's not right. I gotta reprint this. I swear to God I printed it at the right scale. My printer must be off. I don't know, I think my 2008 printer is on its last leg. Having more problems with it lately than anything. It's probably because I have a new computer and operating system and this thing is just... still larger, but it's the right size in the... I don't know. I think it's time to get a new printer. Hey, what's up, Joe? How's it going? Alright, this should work a little bit better. Joe, you're down in Cape May this weekend? You didn't get hit by the storm or anything, did you? Should Hey, Scott. Hopefully it's nothing serious. It doesn't matter that it's not centered. It actually kind of does. Oh damn, that doesn't sound good at all, man. Well, hopefully it works out. It's not one thing, it's another these days, right? Yeah, I got pressured from my doctor to do my wellness exam in November. Keep forgetting to make the appointment. Yeah, we're all getting old. When you're younger, you think you're invincible, and then all of a sudden you start hitting those 30s and 40s, and everything just starts falling apart. I'm at the point now I just want to keep doing statue work until I can't do it anymore, and then I'll be happy. I wish they would make the wellness exam easier though. My doctor, we make the appointment for the doctor first, then I gotta make the appointment a week before I see the doctor to do the blood work wellness exam. I don't understand why I just can't make the wellness exam and then after that make the appointment. But I think everything is just so messed up these days. I can't even question it anymore. So any of you young people out there, stay young, don't get old. Yeah, I wish I didn't move south, because I had this doctor up north. He was amazing. He'd have you do everything natural or home remedies and stuff before he would give you a pill. But ever since I moved down south and I went to a couple different doctors, they just want to shove pills down your throat. No other means of trying to figure out what the hell's going on. So, and my other doctor was awesome. I walk in there, tell him what's wrong. He's like, all right, get to the point. He's like, don't try and hide any of this crap. Just get to the point. Tell me what's going on. Don't be embarrassed. Let's figure out what the hell's going on and get you out of my office. I like that. It's the type of doctor I want to get again. Not all these other doctors that want to do all, like, oh, how you feeling? No, just get to the point, get it done, get out. So I've been seeing now that there's tons and tons and tons of containers at the shipping ports that are all backed up and that are getting lost, and that's why a lot of people aren't getting supplies. And then supposedly there's some other shipping containers that have been lost somehow. So it kind of makes me weary about supplies coming winter, so I'm definitely going to order more Aves. I'm going to put in an order this weekend. Since it's Labor Day weekend, there might be a couple sales. But I think I got an email too from Midwest Airbrush Supply. So if you guys are looking for airbrush parts, let me see. USA Airbrush Supply. They're having a Labor Day sale. So I even might check them out too as well. See if there's any parts or anything I need. Alright, Scott, have a good one. Hopefully it works out, man. So this isn't going to be perfect, but at least it'll give me a starting point for Scooby's feet. I wonder if I should do a quick drill in each paw print so this doesn't pop off. Yeah, alright, I'm gonna go in the garage real quick and do that. Hey, what's up, No G4, Jacob, Nishu, and the Monovolt. Today, yesterday was a beautiful day, even though up north they got hit with all that water and rain, but down by me there was nothing. So I was in the garage chopping up kits like crazy that I've been neglecting, that I've been waiting for. So I chopped up some of the Power Girl, that Miss Marvel kit. I got a Catwoman here that I have to work on for somebody, so I chopped up her ankles because we're gonna do different boots. And I did a couple other things. I made some bases out of resin. So yeah, just a couple of tedious things. But right now I'm working on the paw stamps for Scooby-Doo. I'm just gonna go in the garage real quick and just do some Dremel holes in there. So this week I spent most of the time working on that Tabulicious Vanessa kit. I also finished up a Harley Quinn. I gotta post my video of the Cyclopses. Those are done. So I gotta get to the point now where once I finish up Vanessa, I'll be popping out people's bigger commission customs. So if any of the guys I'm doing those for don't mind me streaming that stuff, I'll do some streaming of full-blown custom stuff. There's some bigger ones in there, so hey Raccoon. Chris, you're having issues with garage paint melting? Can you be a little bit more specific what you mean melting? Is it bleeding? Is it actually like leaking? I don't know. There's got to be a little bit more. Give me a little bit more to go on. Okay, Chris, so alright, so did you wash the kit and prime it? And if you did prime it, with primer? We gotta start from the bottom up so I know what the hell's going on. Because sometimes it could be your resin, it could be the primer, it could be the paint you're using. So kind of just like run it down what you did. Alright, so it's a 3D print. You use Badger primer, and your washes are Vallejo, or are your washes like oils or lacquers or enamels? Tamiya might be the issue. Tamiyas are very alcohol oriented, even though they're acrylics. So that might be reacting and not bonding too well with your primer and Vallejo. You can try some other washes from other paints to see if it's doing the same thing. I don't use Tamiya as much as I used to, because I've had problems like that. Hey, what's up, Matthew? See, I think as of right now, I wouldn't worry about sealing so much. I would just get your acrylic paints on the item. Sealing is kind of like at the very end. So I would just kind of like, you know, keep doing your washes and, you know, your layering and your paints. And then at the very end, you can use a Vallejo like varnish sealer or something. But trying to, you know, seal after everything, sometimes you just don't need to. At least I haven't. Then again, I don't do like washes as much. So I think with washing stuff, you got to get kind of used to the brand of paint you're using and if it can wash the way you want it to. Because I know certain paints don't react well to other paints, so that might be an issue. Vallejo, I think, makes washes. Formula P3 makes washes. They're actually not that bad. Nah, it's fine. You can ask away. It's just that it's always hard for me to give exact details without it not being in hand. So I'm just kind of going off of, you know, what I've been through and what might be going on. Like I said, Tamiya paints are good, but I don't like using their colors as much as I used to anymore. Because they're very... It's like they got a lot of alcohol in them. Or something in them. Like, their metallics are good, but as far as like painting with them and solids, I kind of moved away from them a lot. Plus, I do know some Tamiyas don't like certain sealers, like Tester's Dull Coat. Sometimes it reacts. And it's good to ask in chat anyway, because there's other people in chat that probably have experience that I might not have, and they can always chime in as well. Vallejo makes sealers from a spray can. I've never used any of theirs from... They have Vallejo sealers in a spray can? I only use their varnish from the airbrush. Never seen the spray cans. That's interesting. Yeah, I pretty much do the whole car, duplicate car paint. And then after that I usually do the Vallejo matte varnish. If I really want to seal something. It's kind of like my go-to now. Yeah, I went to the hobby store and they have testers back in the spray can. What he told me was the reason why is that, unless you told me or somebody else said it, the reason why it was dried up is because they misprinted the label. I guess when Rust-Oleum took over, something happened with the label. And they said they had to, like, redo the label for some reason. It was labeled wrong. I don't know if it was you or if it was somebody at the art store. But when I go down to the Hobby Town store now, they have it in stock again. Didn't make sense that it was a label issue, but maybe there was something in it that they had to redo. But I still use the Tester's Dull Coat for stuff, but not a lot because it kills certain paints. I've come to the conclusion if you just let your acrylics dry, like really let them cure up, don't mess with them, they tend to cure up pretty decent. But if you're manhandling them and always moving, messing with them, then you're going to run into issues. I wanted to do these paw prints yesterday, but I was in the garage all day, and before I knew it, it was like 8 o'clock at night. I just had to kind of call it. The scale 75 stuff is very, very, very thick. With a paintbrush, it wasn't bad. I didn't like it through the airbrush though. I thinned it down, and it was so-so. So I really wasn't all that into them. I tried it with their thinner. You know, well, not, I don't know, was it their thinner or another thinner? And I also tried an extender, and I just didn't like the results. I still have them, I haven't even touched them. I gotta start using them up. I mean, you gotta try them to see if you like them. But it wasn't really anything that, like, Vallejo couldn't do for me. You know, I like to try different paints and stuff, and I listen to these guys at the shows and they rave about certain things, but, you know, I guess the stuff they use it for, it works, but for sometimes the stuff I use it for, it doesn't, so... I guess what it was is through the airbrush I couldn't get it to blend the way I wanted it to. So I feel like, you know, thin down Golden and a Formula P3 Citadel I find those to be better. Tamiya thinner is more alcohol based, so I would not use that on a lot of other brands. If you're using Vallejo, Formula P3, Citadel, what else? Golden, Liquitex, Garage Kit Colors, you just use water to thin it down. Tamiya thinner is made for Tamiya paints, and it's got a really crazy alcohol in it. Nishu, I don't know. I've been doing artwork since a kid. I went to art school, so as far as statue stuff though, I really got into it in 2003. So, like I tell everybody else, I used to work a full-time job, and when I would come home from the job, I'd kick off my shoes, and about 4 or 5 hours a night, I would work on statues. So, from the age of, like, 2003, I don't know, it's kind of in my late 20s or so, 30s, and I just kept doing it all over and over. Chris, what I do is I have this bottle here. Basically there's about like this much alcohol in the bottom of this, about that much, and this is water, and I just use this to thin down any thick paints. The only reason why I put a little alcohol in there is because it helps like mildew and like helps a little bit of drying too, but you don't need to put like that much alcohol, just a little bit in there, that's about it. But if you buy Garage Kit paints, they're so watery you can use those to thin down other paints. Yeah, I wish Nichu, I just turned this hobby and just kept going with it. That's pretty much it. I don't want the paw prints to be exact because we figured they're like hands, they're always different. Well, Nishu, I do this as a full-time thing now. I turned this hobby into a business. So basically I wake up every day and I just work on statues all day, every day. Nishu, not married, no kids. So I get to do whatever the hell I want, basically. I mean, I got relatives, cousins, you know, parents, stuff like that, but... if I had a family, I probably couldn't be able to do this for a living. I just look at it this way. You only live once. And I don't want to hit like 65 and said, man, I should have did that. Live in a different world now where you can do stuff out of your house and make a living, so... There's a couple other guys that are married though, and they do stuff like this on the side. So they'll put a couple hours in a week or so to do some side projects and make a little extra income. Or just do it for themselves, one or the other. I think I've seen some of Raphael's stuff. I tend not to... well, I don't really sub to a lot of channels, but usually I come across stuff that other people do. I actually watch a lot more, instead of painters and sculptors, I actually watch a lot more 2D artists that do live streams. I'm just a big fan of, you know, traditional drawings. Stuff like that I can watch all the time. Alright, so he's pretty much got like a left and right paw. So... the only Shazam I think I might be doing is a friend of mine is getting a Shazam kit. And I might paint that up for him down the line. But I think that's a ways out because of the lockdowns and delays. So I don't think that's coming out for a long time. I mean, I know he's definitely getting it. When is the issue? Lockdown was a mess. It was an absolute mess. A lot of little mom and pop stores are gone because they couldn't survive. But Walmart and Targets were allowed to be open. Supplies have been a nightmare to get during the lockdown. That's why I'm delayed. I think if anything, it hurt a lot of businesses. You know, I don't understand why a mom and pop store couldn't be open, just not let anyone inside. Just like knock on the door and say, hey, you know, I need this, I need that, I need that, and they can run into the store and get it for you. You didn't have to like tell them to stay home. But during the lockdowns, though, it was very hard to get supplies, so a lot of things just stopped for me. Just, you know, and then also, like, working with the seamstress, she was locked down, I was locked down, it was just everything. I mean, hopefully things over on your end were worked out pretty well. Well, Nishi, when they had Jersey Fest and Wonder Fest shows, yeah, there's a lot of people that would go to those. You know, people would enter their stuff in contests and everything like that. Hey Ken, how's it going? So maybe once they have the shows again, people will get back to normal and do that stuff. Alright, so I think we're good with the stamps. So if we put him down, this is right paw and this is left. So once this cures up and I do my base, we can just stamp the paws and we're good to go. Put these aside so I don't ruin them. Alright, so let's use this A's up on her legs right real quick. I have to cover her top because YouTube would not like me showing that. So I have to cover that up. And then after we do that, somebody on the YouTube channel recommended getting UV resin clear off of Amazon and use it to clear up this piece to strengthen it. So I picked up a bottle, and I guess we'll see how it works out. But I have to put it in the sun though. By the time I'm ready to do it, the sun's gonna be gone. So maybe we'll test something. I'll get a piece of wood and test it first. So basically they said you put this in the sun and it'll cure, or you have to get a UV flashlight. There was like 30 different kinds on Amazon, so they're probably all the same company that makes it, and then people just buy it and put on their label. So it's probably the same stuff as 3D printers, except it's clear. I don't know, does anyone's ever used any of this stuff before? I don't know. We'll give it a shot. If it works out pretty well, then tomorrow I'll just coat up this sign. If Leonardo da Vinci was here in this time, he'd probably be on the porn sites. He probably wouldn't even care about this type of stuff. Well, my favorite characters, Power Girl, Captain Marvel, Genis Vale, Nate Gray. So I've been working on those myself every once in a while. Whenever I get my display room redone, I'll post a video on it, probably next year sometime. When I sanded down these boots yesterday, I did a quick wrap of Magisculpt around it because it was kind of close to the point where they might fall off. So right now I gotta just kind of rebuild the ankles, and then I can sculpt the boots onto them later. Hey Raccoon, this is the Catwoman from Sideshow. So it's just one of these items I pulled out yesterday and started working on because I gotta get onto these bigger customs and commissions for people. So I just can't show her top because of YouTube, so I had to kind of wrap it. How bad is it by you, Raccoon? I know my one friend's his basement got flooded. I feel bad. A lot of his collection got messed up bad. Luckily, my parents' house didn't get flooded, only because they didn't lose power. So the two sub pumps kept working throughout the whole entire sort of flooding in the town. But I know a lot of other people are really messed up. Ken, you gonna do LEDs on all those? But yeah, I can imagine that upstate, you know, New York and upper North New Jersey's a wreck up there. I mean, when I had the hurricane back in 2012 down South Jersey, it was a nightmare, so... That's good. LEDs on those always look amazing. Nishu, hopefully I'm saying her name right, but anyway, I don't know what Phantom figures are. Oh yeah, I could have, you wouldn't even have to get a notice to realize you couldn't drink the water, how bad it is. I grew up where I grew up in my up North Jersey with my parents. Anytime we had a crazy hurricane and stuff, man, it would, the basement would get not flooded to the point where you couldn't, you know, be down there, but it would get at least 2 inches in the water down there. It was always a pain. Oh, Phantom? No, I haven't really done any of that Nishu. Basically, everything I work on, I usually post videos, so if it's not there, I haven't done it. Okay, I know what Phantom you're talking about now. I usually just work on my personal grails or whatever people contact me to work on, and if I have the time to do it and I'm interested, then I do it. Raccoon, it's just a regular Catwoman with the Latex Outfit. This was one of the items I was supposed to do a long time ago, but the coof hit us, and that stopped. But now I'm kind of getting back on track. I still love this statue. I think this is still a great Catwoman statue. It's just the cloth fabric just was not good. No, that's fine, Issue. I know who you're talking about, but I haven't personally ever done any characters of him. And it wasn't something I really read growing up either. Even though I saw the movie, that's pretty much all I know of the Phantom. No, not this time, Raccoon. Just a simple Catwoman with the outfit taken off. Except we're doing different boots on her, so I had to chisel out the boots that were there. Plus, doing this way would help is going to help secure it anyway, because they were just glued in, and they had that layer of cloth there too between the glue and the key. Yeah, Phantom is all I know of from the movie. I was more of a X-Men, Flash, comic book type guy. Captain Marvel in the 90s. Yeah, a lot of the old school stuff isn't popular like it once was, and that's kind of a different age group, I guess. Even though there is still people who like those characters, but they're not money makers, so you're not going to see companies really produce them. So I just gotta let that cure up, and I can sand these down, tone them up a bit, and then I can do the boots. So at least that's good to go. Hey, what's up, fangirl? Well, Turtles is becoming popular again, I guess, with that, the last Ronin story. So I see that everywhere now. I won't even get into the talk about He-Man stuff. Too much drama with that subject. Alright, so this is just the base I'm working on for something, so just use some of this. How'd that work out, fangirl? Is everything okay? You're not like high watching the stream, are you, right now? I don't want you saying anything not supposed to. Alright, Nishu, have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, that sucks, fangirl. No problem, Nishu. Have a good one. Are they at least treating you okay, fangirl? I mean, you're not like sitting there by yourself pulling your thumbs all day. At least they keeping up on you. I know some hospitals suck like that. Hey Chris, how's it going? Oh, that's right, you're in the hospital, so they won't allow visitors and stuff. That sucks. Chance to chop her up a little bit too, so this way if I have Aves I can sort of rebuild some areas. I forgot to do that part over there. So real quick, let's test this and then we'll mix up some new Aves. Hanging in there, Chris. Just plugging away this week on projects. Just doing some random stuff today. Right now I'm gonna test this clear resin on wood. Because this is the sign that we made for Velmas, no, Daphne's base. So, want to see if this stuff works out pretty well. Hey, what's up, the customizer? Hey, Fangirl, if you can, make sure you steal a lot of supplies from the hospital. You know, get yourself a couple boxes of gloves, some of their hand soaps. Walk away with some of the towels. Yeah, this is UV resin, and holy shit, this stuff stinks. Damn. You know what? Let's not use this cap just yet. Let's just kind of get an old paintbrush. Okay. Yes, that's you're paying that hospital bill, so you might as well jack all those gloves and supplies. You can use them for statue work. Fangirl's probably in there jacking all the stuff, and every time they come into the room, she's got to hide and get back on the bed and stuff. Raccoon, was you that person that had that car filled with all the stickers on it? Oh, man, I might have to do this stuff in the garage tomorrow. Alright, I'm gonna go leave this in the sun now, and then this will give me an idea tomorrow if this is gonna work out. But holy crap, that stinks. Alright, I put that outside on the driveway with a rock to hold it down, so we'll see how that cures up. Do you guys know how long this stuff takes to cure in the sun? Oh, 5 to 20 minutes? Okay. Alright. See how it works. So 20 minutes, so about 5 o'clock. Alright, we'll go out there and see. I think the only stickers I used to have in my locker and on stuff was No Fear. I had a lot of No Fear stuff. Had all the clothes of No Fear. That was a huge 90s thing. Yeah, this says 5 to 20 minutes. If I could get a UV light though, 2 to 4 minutes. Alright, we'll see how it works. And if it works out, so the idea would be I'll clear coat this up. It'll be very shiny. It's because it's gloss. But then what I'll do is I'll hit it with the car paint and then I'll dull it down. The car primer that's clear, that'll dull it down probably. And that might give a nice good coat onto this. So we'll see how that works out. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go crazy getting like UV stuff. I'll probably just leave it in the sun. I just want to see how this works. If it works out pretty well, then it'll open up ideas for future stuff, and then I'll invest in like a UV touch thing or a light or something. But for right now, we'll see. One-fourth man bat? I don't think I've seen that one. Is that something you printed out or is it a kit you picked up? Oh, they're only that much? Okay. Well then I'll look when picking up one. I just want to see if this stuff works. If it works the way I'm hoping it will, then I'll utilize it more and stuff. But if it doesn't work the way I want it to, then I'm not sure. But yeah, that's definitely a strong smell. I'll have to remember that next time I do it in the garage. Customizing, no, I never really sculpted from scratch. It's not my thing. I've tried it, but I kind of fell into the customizing stuff back when the Captain Marvel bust came out for Bowen Designs. So I just kind of ran with that, and I enjoyed it more. And even if I really wanted to get into it now, it's too late because everything's 3D sculpted, so I just enjoy doing this stuff. Yeah, I don't think 3D sculpting is going to take everything away, but I can have fun while I can for now. Of course, the way things are working is probably in another few years it's just going to be paint work and repairs, because everybody's going to have a 3D printer. So I don't know if customizing will be a thing anymore, but who knows. Wow, why did I pull these off? Duh. I don't know, do you guys think customizing is still a thing, or do you think that 3D printing is the future and that's it? Yeah, I guess that's true, Jacob. The way I envision it is pretty soon you're gonna have like websites pop up and you're gonna be able to say, okay, I want this female body A. You know, you'll have like 10 different like sculpts. You're like, okay, I want A, then I want it to be Wonder Woman, and I want it this pose, and then basically you'll be able to maneuver the body. And then after that, you just tell the company to print it, and then that's it. You get your kit. I think that's the future. Yeah, I think no matter how much 3D prints you make, you're still gonna have to be able to build it, put it together, and seam stuff. But yeah, I mean, you basically just look at how the industry of printing, like laser printers and inkjet printers. When inkjets first came out, they were like, what, $30,000 for one of those? And then all of a sudden, before you knew it, you could buy one for $60. Then laser printers came out, they were like 20 grand. And then before you knew it, you could buy a $100 laser printer for the office. So 3D printing is kind of like, okay, we're at that. The best 3D printers are anywhere from 3 grand to probably 200 grand, you know? So we're kind of going down the same path. Hey Golden, yeah, that's true. You still have a lot of traditional painters and people who draw, but I just think that it's kind of like, I wouldn't say a dying skill, but then it'll come back. You never know, maybe like another 2 generations from now we'll get into all, you know, back to oil painting and acrylics, and it'll come back. So, who knows? Or aliens will come down and wipe us all out because they think we're nuts and we shouldn't be around anymore. Who the hell knows what the hell's gonna happen? Oh, Raccoon, are you serious? Are records coming back? Now, is it just like, you know, 90s and rock and roll LPs, or is it all records? Because I still have a ton of records from my parents and my godfather I need to get rid of. But we're talking like, you know, 50s, 60s stuff. That's pretty interesting about the records. When I got into music, I was at the age with cassette tapes. So everything was cassettes back then for me. I just missed the whole record phase. Alright, I will do that, Raccoon. Thanks for the feedback. I've been sitting on them for a while, just haven't had a chance to kind of purge them. because right now I went through all my comic book boxes last Sunday, and I'm going to, I pulled out all my good stuff, and I'm going to try to purge the rest of it just to kind of get rid of it. Yeah, I guess 3D printing is just in its infancy. It's got a long way to go. Plus, you know, people have to learn the technology, get used to cutting the pieces, how to set them up. So there's definitely some growing pains. Yeah, I don't know much about the record stuff. You know, comic books, cards, video games, that's kind of my wheelhouse. I just know that a lot of the old records, that it's not so much the record people want, it's the sleeves, because I guess a lot of the old records, the sleeves kind of went to shit. So people try to look for those sleeves to, you know, for their good record. At least that's what I was told. You know, but I'm talking about stuff like, you know, Frank Sinatra stuff, what other guy, stuff like that. Yeah, my aunt is a huge Elvis fan. She's got stuff like you wouldn't believe. I told her, I said, if you were ever looking to sell that stuff, do not just go somewhere and drop it off. She's got all kinds of Elvis shit. But then again, that's Elvis, you know. I see video games have sort of tanked for a bit. I know they were really big there for a while. I was ready to clear out all my game systems this year, and then I looked at pricing, and I was like, what the hell happened to all the video games? So I guess they gotta wait for them to make a comeback. I hope CDs never make a comeback. I got rid of all my CDs. Couldn't handle them anymore. Haven't opened up the book of CDs in probably 8 years. Hey, what's up, Butterfly? Well, I have an N64. I have all the PlayStations. I do have a GameCube, and I have a PS2. I don't know. I think maybe I'll just kind of wait until it's kind of a really big boom. Alright, go check out on that piece of wood in about a couple more minutes. Probably gonna have to reshape a lot of this, but for right now I just wanted to get those gloves off. I need to get a day to get in the garage and I can start planning out that April O'Neil's one as well. Alright, let's go get the piece of wood real quick, see how that's turning out. Butterfly, swapping a left arm and right arm, that's not going to work because if it's sculpted with specific muscles and the way your muscles and elbow are, you can't swap them. Like, if this arm's got the bicep here and then the other part is over here and that bicep is there, if you swap them, it's not going to work. Is that what you're asking? Alright, so anyway though, real quick. So this seems to have cured up pretty well. Little tacky, but that's because the sun kind of went out a little bit. So maybe I should invest in the UV pen and do it that way instead. It's a little tacky on the edges because I guess the sun didn't hit it, but on the center it seems pretty decent. Definitely makes it more durable. So yeah, okay, I think we probably will coat this. I think that'll work. I'm gonna get the UV dye though before I do it, so I don't have to, the pen. See if I can get a pen real quick. Order one tonight. Let's turn this on. Hold on 1 second. I gotta bend this thing back. Alright, so it's really shiny. It would make the piece really shiny. So yeah, Butterfly, you're gonna have to sort of reshape the muscles. So if you're gonna swap the muscles, you gotta reshape them. You know, you don't want to make the mistake where the bicep is supposed to be inwards and then you have it on the outside popping out. Alright, so this is too shiny, so if this is cured, we use Duplicolor clear top coat. Except the can's empty. Sort of took down the shine a little bit, but then if I really want to dull it down, take the matte varnish . Alright, so that'll work. It dulled it down, gave it a nice coat. Alright, so I guess that's a plan. We're definitely going to clear coat the sign. Okay. We got a plan. Yeah, I think I'll, that's not a bad idea, Monovolt, but I think, I might go with the targeted, idea, because if I start utilizing this clear resin for other stuff, that might be a good idea to have the pen. Like, say if I do something on the base, and I need to kind of just hit that little spot, so maybe I'll go with something like that. But I think clear coating this will work out pretty well. And then if it has a little bit of shine, it might look like it's a little bit wet too, which might help play it up a little bit more. And then I might add more paints and colors, so we'll see. But I think adding that clear resin will help bond it a little bit more and keep it a little bit durable. Trying to think, I could try to get the UV pen and maybe a bigger UV light, like a flashlight. I don't know, I'm trying to think of stuff I can use this clear resin for now. I'm sure something will pop in my head down the line. I mean, I got LED lights, but they're not UV ones though. Have you guys ever used this clear stuff fairly thick? Would this work for, like say if I decide to do this on the base, and say maybe I want like a little puddle here, would that clear stuff work as a puddle? Have you ever done that before? You know, like maybe there's just a little bit of water, like little puddles, and if you put that clear UV dye in there and stuff, I mean maybe that could work. I don't know. Because if I could utilize this clear stuff, you know, for puddles, that might work. The only problem is, do you know if this stuff yellows over time? That's one thing I'm kind of curious. Kind of one thing I'm a little bit hesitant on. I wouldn't want to do something really crazy and then, like, you know, a couple months down the line it just yellows up. Golden, I know all resin sort of yellows over time, but depending on what kind of grade resin, because you know, like smooth on, smooth cast stuff, it's pure white. I know it may yellow over time, but not as bad as like cheap resin you get at like a Hobby Lobby or something. Yeah, that's a good idea, Fangirl. I'm gonna have to play with it. The only problem is resin though, you can't put certain paints in there because it reacts. So that's something I'm gonna have to test. Because you can get bubbling. I might have to use those UV, I have those UV pigments I gotta test. I have these from Smooth On. These are those UV pigments you use for resin. And that's how I was doing those bubble gums for Harley Quinn. I would put a very, very tiny little drop of that like magenta, and I would mix it up with the clear resin, because you can't put paint in resin because that reacts. Yeah, Jacob, there's a rod up this leg already. As you can see, I put my typical square rod in there. So this, when I was about 4 weeks ago, when I was doing some Dremel work, I popped this out of the box and I put this rod. So the rod is sort of bent a bit because the leg kind of comes up this way. So I sort of put the rod in and I sort of bent the rod down and I lined it up. So yeah, she's nice and secure. So actually, it's kind of funny. I thought the boots and the gloves were casted separate, but I think the arms are casted separate and attached to it. But I think the whole body is one solid piece, even with the boots. Because when I jumbled out the boots, they weren't glued in. So that is actually kind of a shock. I haven't really seen a full body cast of a statue in a long time. Because even these parts are casted together. So I guess they realized they could cast the whole body in one shot. Most of the time you get everything in pieces, but for some odd reason the Power Girl is one, which is good though, because you're not getting shitty resin like just over here holding up this. So yeah, this Power Girl was a good casting. I figure doing a little bit of this Power Girl here and there, once I'm ready to start working on it, it'll be ready to go. I don't have to worry about trying to rush it 1 week. I think summer's over for us, so we're getting that, after that storm the other day, getting like 72 weather, so I think we're pretty much, it's Labor Day weekend, I think it's over. So that means I can actually chop stuff in the garage without everything overheating. I think my vacuum, my shop vac is next to go. It's starting to make a weird noise. So that'll probably burn out at me pretty soon. got to, I don't know if I'll do it today. Maybe tomorrow night I'll do it. I'm going to film the last of Velma. And then I'll get that video up on Sunday along with some other ones. And then after that, we can just focus on the bases for the two girls. Alright, built up a little bit more than I needed to, but when I sand it down, it should work out. Needs to be built up in the inside a little bit more. Alright, you see it's easier to sand it down and build it up with Aves than it is to try to sit there and do it on resin. I gotta build up that part back there. Resin's a nightmare to fine tune, at least a polystone. So I think that's good enough for that until I'm ready to get in the garage and tune it up again. Alright, so before I pop out the other one to fill in, so during the Picardo streams this week, I showed everybody what I was doing with Hyperion, so I actually sanded him down, the part. So I got this part all sanded down, so I put it in my drill, and I just kind of duct taped the handle around, and I just sanded it down as a circle, so that'll go in like that. So the next step now is go to the seamstress and have her make a cape out of that cloth. So this way, it's a big piece. I'm going to have to tune it a little bit up here. So once he's all done and painted, we'll just stick the cloth into there, add some glue, lock that into place, and then therefore I'll have a finished Hyperion. But yeah, I gotta look into a small lathe, so this way I can make stuff like this a little bit easier. Yeah, it's always a good feeling being able to get my own items done once in a while. This is something I wanted to do ever since I first saw that Superman from Sideshow. So it'll be kind of fun once I get the cloth done. So the cloth is going to be a while because I actually have the seamstress making up some stuff for me now for some commissions. And then after that's done, I'm going to give her this. And she's going to get this done for me. I'm also going to give her 2 hats. She says she can actually put stuff on hats, so I'm going to get the Kuma symbol from Street Fighter on the hat, because I need a new hat anyway, so that'd be kind of cool. Alright, so while I was in the garage chopping stuff down, I did manage to chop this up a little bit as well. Still got to do another probably 2 days of chopping. So I just, I was such a mess yesterday, like all day in the garage chopping. I just popped this out as well. I didn't get all of it done. This was kind of the last of the day, and then it was like 8 o'clock or whatever, and I was like, okay, I'm done. But her hands are actually glued there, and this leg is actually attached here. But this whole leg is actually, I think they put a rod all the way up the leg up into here. So I remember one broke on somebody, I think I saw on the forums, and the rod was all the way up to here. So I think they were actually put a rod all the way up to here. I hope they did. So this is the second one so far that I'm messing with this statue, because I did my Captain Marvel first. And then Jacob's would probably be the third one when we get to that. So this is pretty much what you guys don't usually see. I have like all these statues on the shelf, and I do chop days, I do sand days, priming, painting, sculpting days. So I'm always just making sure that I got a lot going at once, so this way I don't get stuck. Yeah, it's not an actual steel rod, so you can't put a magnet there, and I'm not drumming into a lathe to see. But like I said, I saw one broken, and I think the rod at least came up to here, but it could go all the way up in here. I'm almost positive. Because I haven't seen anybody else have any issues with damages or leaning on this, so that's a good sign for this statue. If I saw people having leaning issues or breakage, then I would say, yeah, it's a problem. I think the only breakage on this statue was the that piece she connects to. Because the base is like a translucent resin they painted, and that's fragile. So that base actually has been breaking on more than people than any of this statue. So I've never had anyone ask me to repair this statue because of a broken leg. So Sideshow did good engineering on this one, I would have to say. The base is the bad part of this statue. Yeah, it's a translucent resin. Translucent resin is basically like clear resin with, like, you know, some pigments added to it. And that stuff is really not durable, especially if you have a cheap brand or a bad batch. So yeah, like I said, the statue is good. It's engineered well. It's the base that was kind of eh. I've repaired, I think, about 5 of those bases for people when this came out. It wasn't the whatchamacallit. It wasn't this that broke, and it wasn't the key that broke. What it was the clear resin chipping and breaking on people in here. So that's what I repaired for people, and I told them, I said, sadly, you know, if you keep playing with it, popping it in and out, it's gonna crack on you. So mine's a little bit tricky, but I made sure that this goes in pretty well. This is a good mixture of resin, because like when I was chopping this down, you can see it was just a nightmare to chop it, so it was a good mixture of resin and polystone. I like this statue, it's still one of my favorites out there. I like the body sculpt, I like the pose. It's a good running pose almost. If the rod wasn't here, I would like to have taken this statue and make another Kid Flash running. But the only problem is I was a little bit worried about the key, because if she looked like she was running like that, it would look pretty cool. But I'm a little bit worried about the angle, so I think it needs to be more of this angle. Had a little problem getting a Dremel tool back here, so I just started getting really messy with it. Figured I'll just throw these in and sand it down. Alright, so I'll do the rest whenever I mix up more leaves and I have a little extra. I'll just keep piling onto her as well. Yeah, you can use this statue for anything. Like I said, I'm probably going to be doing a Miss Marvel Warbird off of her. Just to kind of do and sell off. That's kind of like maybe where I'm at, but I'm not sure yet. It's not 100%. I'm just kind of working on the body. But the idea would be I would do clouds here, like she's in the sky. So a Hawk Girl would work out fine. You just would have to do the wings. You know, if you can set up a nice pair of wings behind her, it would work out fine. Like I said, I thought about using this for a Kid Flash, but I already have this as a Captain Marvel next to my Genis Veil, so I have her as Phyla Veil. And I saw a kit that somebody's produced and I talked to that has like a running pose that might work for a Kid Flash. So I'm in talks of maybe just getting that as just the figure in head and not the base, and turn that into a Kid Flash as a running pose for myself. So that's kind of like where I'm at with that. But yeah, this you can use for anything. You can use for Hawk Girl, any type of character that's flying. It's a great statue. The only problem is I know it skyrocketed in price there for a bit. But I saw Sideshow put up the Hawk, I mean not the Hawk, the Huntress, which I like a lot. I think I'm going to get that. I actually thought about buying this statue when I first saw it to make a Power Girl, But then I saw, you know, then I had the other Power Girl, so I decided not to. But yeah, this is a good statue for anything. If you could get one cheap. Just the problem was all her armor, you know, like all this like stuff she had up here, chopping all that down. Like this is really good resin, so I actually went through like 8 sand wheels, you know, the flat ones, and they just kept just getting worn down and broken off from all this. And there's some parts in here I still need to kind of chop up. But it's one of those little projects I do little by little on the side, like all these other personal stuff I have on my shelf. So hey, what's up, Meta John? Alright, so if I do this one as a April O'Neil, I'm thinking that I don't even need to sand her down. Just sculpt the outfit on everything. I found a picture that might kind of work a little bit better. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Alright, I found it. Let me just get it linked up. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we go with like a baggier outfit and boots. So I'm thinking if I sculpt the boots first, I wouldn't have to worry about sanding all this detail down because we can make a baggier out. That's kind of like almost Marvel vs. Capcom type look. Like a 3, you know. I think that's from the video game, right? So if we give her boots to about here, right? Like boots like right about here. So there's a new video game or something with it? That's fine. I don't know, I saw this on Instagram the other day. And I was like, you know what? That might be the perfect kind of outfit to follow. So she would have... Basically what I would do is sculpt the belt here, you know, give her a belt first, right? Make the belt tight. And then, like, roll out Aves and just, like, slap Aves around this and just start doing the wrinkles and make it baggy. And then do the same thing up top. And then, so basically we would have the shirt. So if I have the shirt like this, a little bit tighter, yeah, that's true, Raccoon. Well, that's what that's, you know, so... So if we go that route, the only thing I would have to do, well, I'm not saying baggy, but baggy at least down here, you know, like baggy at least down here like it is. And sort of, because I think what it is she needs to have a little bit of a thicker waist, at least on this one. A little bit of a booty. So you think maybe we should kind of thicken up her bottom a little bit first, though? So you think more cleavage or less cleavage? I know more cleavage sells, but I'm looking at that artwork and I kind of like the way it is, but, you know... I mean, my friend said it that the face is perfect for April. So what I'll have to do is I'm gonna have to set it up where her arms are cut off with magnets, I guess, or maybe not. All right, well, let's take a straw poll, I guess, real quick. More cleavage or less cleavage? What do you guys think? It's not something I'm keeping, it's just something I'm doing for fun on the stream, and then it'll get thrown out to, if any Patreons want it, or eBay, or whatever. It's just one of those items I'm sick of looking at on my shelf on the floor for, like, what, 7 years now, or whatever the hell it is. So I figure something would look cool on it. What we'll do is, what is it? It's almost 6 o'clock. We can make her white. We give her wider hips tonight, for the hell of it. So what we'll do is, it seems like you guys want your April clean. So if we go less, say we go like there. Yeah, what I have to do is I have to go into a Photoshop or whatever I can and kind of blow up the picture for looking, because right now it's really pixelated on my screen type thing. So... So something a little bit more like the picture, which is kind of like right there. Or even... So that's kind of more... Maybe that's a little too much. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just kind of... So maybe actually a little bit more... Something more like that. This has just been sitting on my shelf, and I've just been trying to brainstorm for a few weeks on this. That's why I haven't really worked on it too much. Didn't really have it in me until I saw this picture on Instagram, and I was like, oh, that kind of works a little bit better. Sometimes you just need that picture or a little inspiration to make you jump on something where it's like, okay, that'll work. So something like that. So it would be tight across here, sort of like the picture. The picture sort of has it. So the way this looks like Marvel vs. Capcom type artwork, so the shirt would be kind of go straight across type thing. Yeah. Alright, so that's just the guide for now. So we'll probably maybe kind of curl it a little bit more. Just gives me a good starting point. Alright. So we need to give her more hips. So let's do that tonight. Let's do that, and then that will be a good good way to finish out the stream tonight. So we're gonna give her some booty. Now, do we want to give her a little bit more in the back too? Kind of give it more, a little bit more of a bump and a little bit more wide hips, or do we want to? We definitely got to fill this part in, right? Like there and there. Hey, what's up, Jose? April's just for the hell of it. Nothing special. Just something to do on the stream. Yeah, I think if we get the booty, I plan out the arms, and then I do the boots and the belt. Then basically one stream what we can do is I can just roll out a thing of Aves and wrap it around it. Because if we build out the booty now, and then I build out a little bit of Aves around it, and I do wrinkles and make it a little bit bagginess, I think it'll work. Alright, so we're definitely going to do hips and cheeks. Yeah, because if you look at the side here, even though she's going forward, you usually see this, but you also see this come out a little bit more too. You don't really see that too much. The little pout, you see it, it's got to kind of come. It's kind of hard to explain, but if you look at a female from the side, usually this kind of comes up a little bit more. Alright, so we're going to do that. So April's just going to be one of these things where I'm kind of like in the mood to do it that stream. We'll focus on the other bigger ones down the line. So, but this is kind of like that side thing if I have nothing else to do. So I think we got to put a little fix-it in there too, just to kind of help. This should be interesting. Yeah, this is the old Adam Hughes one, Terrell. I think it was back in 2013 I got this. Somebody had it all damaged up and they gave it to me for like, man, I don't even remember, like pennies. Might have even just paid shipping. So I remember stripped her down because she was actually broken up. She was actually broken in a bunch of parts and I actually repaired those already. You can see over here the arm was broken and I attached it. So she's been sitting on my shelf on the floor for all this time, and I'm getting to the point now this year where I was just like, I really either need to just do something with it or just sell it off on eBay. And that's when my friend came over and we were brainstorming some ideas. And he mentioned to me April O'Neil, and I said, hey, you know, I got this Adam Hughes statue, and he was like, the face is perfect. He's like, use that. So that's kind of how this has came to be. Yeah, the percent. Or what is it, one of those famous actresses, or not even actresses, what are those influencers now that have those big butts? Chris, this is Adam Hughes' Rogue statue from Sideshow. Old statue. I think it came out probably, what, 2000, maybe 11? Maybe is it that old? We're gonna test my skills to see if we can give her a butt lift. The chest, I know how to do. I fixed a lot of chests on statues back in the day, so I fixed this up compared to what it was. But now we're gonna see if we can do the booty. So I think once I add the boots and I add the stuff on the legs, it'll thicken those up a little bit where it won't look weird. So I think that'll work fine. I don't need to thicken those up. As far as zipper goes, I could try and do a zipper, or maybe I'll just do a flap and not really even show a zipper. I'm not really sure yet. The problem is this is a 1/5 scale. It's not really 1/4. I think it's kind of more of the 1/5. So a lot of the zippers that I found are not really in scale. So if we put her next to the Power Girl, to be able to tell. She's a lot smaller. Not that much smaller, but definitely a lot smaller. So I would say she's definitely 1/5. Even though I think they claimed it was 1/4. But it's an old statue, so their scaling's changed. Alright, let me grab something to drink again and then get started. So I gotta have a man cave built, Raz. Alright. It's time to do some butt lift action. Hopefully YouTube allows me and doesn't go after me for doing this. Build onto the shed, Raz. Or go buy one of those used shipping containers and add that onto your thing. It's kind of like the in thing to do, even though that it takes more harsh chemicals to insulate those than wood. Yeah, Raz, everything takes plenty. Never ends, dude. Trust me. Hey, what's up, Raphael? Yeah, the only thing with those shipping containers, do your research, because a lot of people say, oh, you know, you're recycling, but the problem is you're using a steel box. And I watched a video where all the chemicals used to insulate it so you don't get all that condensation inside that steel box is way more than just building a wooden, you know, add-on to a house or something. So definitely do your research on it. Because people don't realize that the condensation builds up there and then mildew builds up. So you actually have to... It was cool, I watched the video on it, where you actually have to do this piping so the condensation gets out of there. But then all those chemicals, and then you lose more room inside. Because the reason why I looked into it is I was at the dentist's office, and the girl I was talking to was talking about how she wants to live like in a motorhome for life, and talked about that stuff, and I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to look into that, and then sure enough, it doesn't seem too feasible. Yeah, we're gonna give her some booty there. Gonna, you know, don't forget I'll be sanding some of it down. I gotta do the hips too. A little bit at a time, we'll get there. So I just gotta kind of build out the hips a little bit more too as well. Just gotta leave enough detail there so this way when I put the wrinkles in, it'll work. I missed my call and I should have been plastic surgeon. Be working in LA. I'm surprised they gave her a flat booty and hips on this item. Adam Hughes usually gives them a fairly decent hips, I would think. I don't know, it's been a while since. I'm kind of pissed that they canceled his line. I was hoping they kept doing more of his statues. But I guess he's not the hot artist anymore. Yeah, I love Frank Cho's artwork. I wish they would do some 1/4 scale stuff based off his art. I know they did a couple DC female stuff off of his, didn't they? Like 1 or 2 Wonder Woman or something. But I'm not really a fan of the smaller stuff. Well, it comes in waves. There was Adam Hughes was big. They did Mark Brooks artwork there for like 2 or 3 statues. That it's Stanley Lau, which is the big one now. So I don't know if they're using anyone else beside those guys. Yep, Campbell, that's right, yep. Well, Scott Campbell is like everywhere. They always use his stuff. I think everybody does, so. Really gloated? It's kind of getting there. It's a little bit thicker, you know? Kind of just building up those areas. I mean, I gotta clean it up more, but yeah, Terrell, I think the problem though too is a lot of licensing. Can they work with the artist? Does the artist even want to bother to work with them? You know, they might have approached him, but the deal could have went sideways. It could have not been cost effective. You know, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes we don't know. Or the art director just doesn't care for the artist. Who the hell knows? You know? I mean, if I was an art director for one of these companies, I would be going on DeviantArt, and I'd be hunting down a lot of these lesser named artists out there that got some really crazy skill and utilize them for stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of artists out there. There's a lot of good talent. But I think sometimes these companies are so hung up on the top names in the market just to sell, but whatever. You know, it's their business. Yeah, the evil mouse dictates everything, so, or it's just the suits. I mean, if you sit there and you listen to the fans, if these companies listen to the fans and actually stop with the whole licensing and you know, what they can and can't do, they'd make bank. But that's why fans now are 3D printing everything on their own, and look what they're making these days. The stuff is absolutely phenomenal. Up a little bit back here. Yeah, Terrell, once that happens, it's just pretty much game over. But, you know, that could open up a world of, new world for everybody, you know? I mean, hell, even I could probably, be able to get somebody to sculpt something I want, 3D print it, I can mold and cast it myself. I think, it's not as much as the detail, it's as much as the resin that bothers me. I think once the resin is really there, and it comes out of the 3D printer like Polystone or Smooth-On's resin, I'd be happy. But until then, I think it's just too fragile. Yeah, I think she got a nice booty now, Jacob. I mean, it's going to get covered with cloth, but at least, you know, we got a little bit more thickness to her. And I'm going to sand it down. It'll get a little bit tweaked here and there. Definitely got the hourglass and the booty coming down. Give it 3 years. I think in 3 years we'll see a hell of an upswing of 3D printing and the technology. I think it's just we got held back with the whole lockdowns. So I think once we come out of this lockdowns, we get back to, you know, everybody's back to really up and doing things. Things aren't delayed anymore. You know, maybe we'll start seeing some new tech come out. Because right now we're kind of stagnant. So I mean, they can't even get through. You know, transistors out for anything now, so it's gonna take a little while, but once we get back on things, it'll get better. Yeah, it's you think it's too big or what? Maybe just kind of, I don't know, just kind of playing with it right now at the moment. Alright, now what we'll do is kind of bring it up to the waistline a little bit. Yeah, I want to keep the waist a little bit thin. We'll kind of just keep pulling this down a little bit. It's a one of a kind. It's not being mass produced, so we can have fun with it. Usually there's a little bit of a dimple in here in the booty. It's not always just perfectly round. Alright, so we exaggerated this little S-curve, I guess you can call it. So this is a little bit more exaggerated. Maybe, guess maybe we can do this one as well. Just a little bit more, not too much. Jacob, it doesn't matter how much Aves is there, it matters the point you mix Aves. So if you mix Aves at 2 o'clock, you got like 3 hours for Aves to start curing. 8 hours and it's hard as a rock. So the minute you mix it is the minute it starts curing. It doesn't matter if it's like thick or thin or any of that stuff. Yeah, you should definitely do some sculpting. It'll help you with your 3D prints if you ever have to really tweak something or repair something. Can't hurt. You know, I do remember with the whole the 3D printing, they didn't want anybody to have them in their houses. They only wanted to like regulate it all. Because they were worried what people would do with them. You know, they claimed, oh, you can make guns, you can make weapons, but it was more of, you know, you can make your own statues or products and you don't need to go to Walmart. But I guess at this point it's a lost cause. Everybody's just making them and getting them out the door. Guys, just get a kit or buy a 3D file, print it out, and customize onto that. Go for one of your favorite characters or an anime character or whatever. Alright. I think we have a good start. Gotta have room for the wrinkles. So I think when I lay down the eaves, I won't have to really lay it down across her booty. I think we can leave it like how it is, but enough eaves to come up the legs. So I think we can keep that part as is. We'll figure it out. Yeah, hair is always a hell of a learning curve. Took me a long time to get it to where I'm at, and I'm still not happy at times when I do hair. You could do what I did in the beginning. If you have a statue, a kit, or even something on a 3D program, and you like the hair, you can print it out and sort of kind of build onto the item you're customizing. I used to do a lot of hair swaps when I started doing all this, until one day I just said, you know what, I'm going to try my own hair, and just kept practicing. So I'm pretty sure those 3D programmers, you know, have some really cool hair sculpts you can purchase. Let me wash my hands real quick. Hair on this one, I have no clue. I haven't even gotten that far yet. Maybe I'll follow the picture a little bit. Maybe try to do a little fun style like the one in... I think the picture I have on the screen is kind of what I want to follow. I like the way the sleeves are rolled up. I like the boots. I like the baggy parts over here. So maybe I'll kind of try to follow that hair best I can. We'll see. Microphone, I'm not sure yet. I think that's something I could probably sculpt myself. I don't know. I mean, I just looked at the microphone now that you mentioned it. It's got that square thing at the bottom. So, you know what it is the hands. I gotta have 3D printed hands for her, because Meta John made those hands for the Velma. And he did give me a couple different sizes, so they probably are in scale with this. So if I can make them work with the hands, then I can do the microphone myself. Alright, so what do you guys think of the booty now? A little bit bigger? Definitely not as flat as it was before. Nah, no swap out shake-up. Just straight up microphone and that's it. I'm not going too crazy with this one. I think I just want to focus on the museum pose of April and that's it. This is an afterthought statue. It's not something I want to go too crazy on. So I didn't build too much there, but building this part over here and a little bit over in here, because I'm looking at the Power Girl and actually it's the Power Girl statue is kind of what's almost like the same pose in a way. So I was kind of looking at those hips a bit. Yeah, so I think like looking at her outfit, so maybe what I'll be doing is I'll be doing wrapping eaves around the leg here and wrapping eaves here, and then just build little wrinkles here. So we'll keep this area tight, these areas tight, but then the arms will be baggy. So we'll try to keep all this tight in here, but then we'll make all this baggy down here. Because if I add an extra layer of Aves going up top, then I think that's where we're gonna run into issues making it look too big. Because if I run Aves up here and then I run little wrinkles around there, I think it'll play into it being tight around the torso and loose on everywhere else. It doesn't really matter about this one. Like I said, this isn't like... I like the statue of this rogue. I thought they did a great job with the sculpt and everything, but I'm just so sick of it, so I think adding a little bit of booty to her and making it in April will kind of be a good way to get out the door. Hey, how's it going, Hulk Smash? Alright, so still got a little chunk of Aves, and I don't like to waste it, so we're gonna fill in this Captain Marvel. So I'll fill in the legs, so this way I don't waste any of this stuff. Yeah, I think the adding the outfit on April on the streams would be kind of a good way to show you guys on how much of a pain in the ass and how long it takes. Especially when you work with A's and you got that little bit of time to work with, you know? But I'm glad I found that picture for her. I think that's going to work out well. It's good design, good inspiration. Hulk Smash, this is just something I got from somebody. It's just one of these things I'm kind of working on the side. And this part is still kind of soft. For the pockets, I'll probably just do what I normally do, you know, just kind of... You know, once I get the outfit pretty much set up, I'll probably just kind of lay down a thing of Aves and sort of just kind of, oops. Just kind of, you know, just kind of cut the pocket out, you know. You know, it's just something simple like that. And then once that cures, add a little bit of layer up top, like there's a little piece for it, and that's kind of how I do the pockets. For this Captain Marvel, I'm debating on it might just be a Miss Marvel Warbird, only because I think in the last stream I said when the statue first came out, people asked me to customize it into a Captain Marvel Warbird, but after it started rising in price, a lot of people kind of sold off their item. So it's kind of something I always kind of wanted to do, but I never had a chance. There's a lot of requests back in the day for specific statues, but people either disappear or they bow out, or I just never hear from them when I'm ready to take it on. So since I got this one, I might just do it. But if it comes out really cool, I don't know if I want to sell it, because I still don't have a Miss Marvel Warbird in my collection anymore either. So we'll see. See what happens. Things change all the time, so if I do it and I don't want it, I'll sell it. If I want it, I'll keep it. I think with all this personal stuff I'm doing this year, and then the studio planning out fixing everything next year, I might not have room for stuff. Yeah, I've seen that Dark Captain Marvel. The design is okay, but you know what it is I have no like connection to the character, so it's not something I'm like, hey, you know, that's something I want to just do. I don't know. Yeah, Raccoon, I don't know yet. It's all these statues I do, sometimes I'm like, yeah, you know what, I don't want to sell it, but then I'm like, yeah, I got a mortgage payment to do too, so can't keep everything. The Green Lantern girl? Oh wait, did I do that? It was a Karasu, that Yellow Lantern. Did I use this statue for that custom? Yeah, I think I did. Oh my god, I completely forgot about that one. No, I'm gonna work out the collar because it's broken anyway. This was broken how I got it, so. Warbird has the collar go up there anyway for the black outfit, so I'll just utilize that collar for the head. Oh yeah, Jessica Cruz is the Green Lantern. That's the big character now. I like what's her name? What's the blonde hair with the skirt that I did a while back? I'm drawing a blank on her name. If I had to do Green Lanterns over and over, it'd be the one with the skirt. Whatever. Arissa, yep, that's it, thank you. That's, I love that design. Sometimes it's not really about if I love the character or not, it's just sometimes if I love the design of the character, that's what makes it a lot of fun to, you know, customize a statue into it. Then again, if it's a character I hate like Iron Man, I'll never touch it. Well, my favorite characters are in my collection. I did my Captain Marvel, Genis Vale, Phyla Vale, Kid Flash from Kingdom Come, Power Girl, working on the Hyperion. I always loved the Miss Marvel, that, you know, with the Warbird outfit. I got my Nate Gray I have to paint up for myself yet. Let's see, I would love to have a Storm from Extreme X-Men So I'm kind of debating on maybe getting a Storm next year and make an Extreme X-Men Storm. I just don't like Iron Man. I never liked him. I grew up reading comics, and I never understood how a drunk could make armor. But that was the comic book Iron Man. In the movies, he's different. So whatever. Oh yeah, Hinata Jacob. Yep. I want a Bart Impulse Flash statue. That's my favorite Flash, but I've never really seen a statue that can make a good Bart. So that's something that's on my grail list. I would love to have a lot of the Flash family characters, you know. Jay Garrick, Max Mercury, Barry. I didn't like Sideshow's Flash, so kind of waiting. Which character, Raz? You know, Hulk Smash, I said the same thing to my friend a week or two ago. When I saw that Captain America from Sideshow, I said, you know, that's the perfect Flash pose. Can you just imagine if that was Flash, like he was beating Captain Cold down, and in his left hand he has the gun and the freeze gun in his hand? So that's something I was debating on, to make a really cool looking Flash out of that, but that might be down the line. Jacob, not really. Most of the stuff you've seen me do is posted. I think the only things I just don't show is a lot of my repairs. I do a lot of repairs all the time, like literally lots of repairs. I just don't post them all the time because I can't sit there and take pictures of every single little repair. So I get a lot of requests for repairs, I take them in bulk, and that's pretty much like, you know, just do them, get them done, and out the door. I'll have to look it up, Raz. Maybe when later after the stream I'll check it out. You know what character I'm thinking about doing? But I haven't read the story yet. Have you guys seen that comic? It's called Department of Truth. I just picked up the trade issues 1 through 5 the other week. I haven't read it yet. I'm going to try to read it this weekend. But the girl that's on the cover in the red dress with the black X's over her eyes, if I really like this comic and I enjoy it, I might think about maybe making that character down the line. Alright, you got me interested, Raz. Let me look it up right now, see what the character looks like. Raz, what manga? Because I'm getting like weird, I'm not getting anything specific. See, from a specific manga? Oh, okay. I see this character. Okay. It's an interesting outfit. It definitely looks like a Power Girl statue. Not bad. Maybe I'll check out the book now. See how it is. Yeah, the Department of Truth, the girl with the scarf and stuff, you know, like even a simple anime statue at 1/4 scale would work for that one. So that's kind of something I'm thinking about down the line. I don't know, Department of Truth sounds like a really good book up my alley. I love like conspiracy stuff and all like X-Files and stuff like that, so that seems what that book is about, so we'll see. Maybe one day I'll make that character. Oh, I could care less about non-safer stuff, Raz. I work home all day. I get to read whatever I want. Anything's better than comic books these days now, so I'll check it out. Like, if this Department of Truth is really good, and I don't know if that character is in the comic, but if she is and I like it, it seems that that character on the covers is always telling people to shush, like the Black Canary statue, so that might be a good candidate for it as well, if I really, really like it. Well, Raz, actually, if you look at a lot of the anime kits out there, they have a lot of kits that are just bigger hips than the actual statue, and that might be good basis for the character. I'll probably check out Shang-Chi when it's free online. I'm sure it'll be on one of those sites and might even be up there this weekend, who knows. I'll add it to the list, Raz. I don't know if I'll ever get to it, but I'll add it to the list. Hulk smash the first Wonder Woman. Yeah, I thought it was a good sculpt. I liked it. You know what it was is, I think their head sculpt was amazing when they first showed it, but then everyone complained about it and they tweaked it in production but didn't tell anyone, and I think the face sculpt ruined it. But yeah, it's not a bad statue. I think the sculpt is pretty good. I think it was a really good sculpt. But the problem is they casted up so many of them. There was a lot of casting issues, like in her legs. You could see all the imperfections. Like basically in the Wonder Woman legs, like here, like the one leg that's up and the other one that's down, there's like all this like bumpingness going on, and you have to smooth it out. I think it was just a casting issue because they did what, like almost 10,000 of those statues, so they probably figured, let's just, you know, keep using the same mold over and over and over. If I do this, this will get filled in anyway, but I'm just filling this in with some A's. Smooth it out in case I do decide a different character. Yeah, the OG Wonder Woman's good. It's like I said, the only thing you gotta worry about, the hair is very, very fragile. So if you're gonna utilize the hair, be careful. And second of all, if you decide to chop her up, make sure you sand the legs down. Like, you gotta really sand the legs down, because if you look at it in light, you'll see them all warped. It's kind of like the leg kind of goes like this. It's weird. It's all like this weird warpage in like the thigh areas. So on that Wonder Woman, like this thigh that's downwards and the right thigh that comes up, you're going to have to really sand those down. You don't have to grind it, but just sand it enough where you can smooth it out. Yeah, the 1/3 Wonder Woman was beautiful. But I don't know where, I just would never be able to have that one. I did order that from Spec Fiction, that the evil lady from Resin Evil, that one statue. Absolutely love it. When I somebody on Statue Forum showed it off, and when I saw this thing, I was like, oh man, it just looks so damn good. Hold on, I'll find a picture of it. Where is it? Pre-orders. They pull it down? What the hell happened to it? Was up there. Guess it's not up there anymore. Find it on the other side. Hold on a second. Yeah, it's really it's on a different website. Spec Fiction, I guess, only sold out of it. But it's on this other site. I'll link it right now. Hold on. It should be on the next page. There's a 1/4 scale and there's a 1/6 scale of it. Holy crap! How far back does it go? Here it is. So there's a 1/6 scale, there's a 1/4 scale, and I think there's a black outfit version, but I don't know if it comes in a 1/4. But Spec Fiction had it up for pre-order, and I got it through them. I never even played the Resident Evil game, but I've seen the character all over the place. But I really love the design of that statue, so I decided to order it. It kind of reminds me of like the Olivia de Barnes old pinup artwork. So I said, screw it. I said, what the hell? You only live once. So I'm not really into collecting teams or specific stuff. If I see a statue I really like and I don't know who the hell the character is, I'll order it anyway. The only thing is I don't like her having the cigarette in the hand, so I probably will tweak that, maybe put something else there. See, my problem is after I got the Hinata Naruto statue, and I've been looking at all these other sites now, I'm seeing all these other statues from Japan and stuff that are not being sold here, through normal channels, and I'm just like, oh, these things are absolutely amazing, so... Yeah, I don't care about who makes it. I don't care about teams. If I like it, I want it, that's it. I tried the team stuff with the Bowen designs and stuff back in the day, and I just realized I don't need all that stuff. The price isn't bad, but that's a pre-order price on that site. So I think she is a little bit more than that. But I mean, that depends on what size you get. But yeah, like I said, I'm all about, if I like it, it's cool. There's a couple other statues on that site I've been looking at, but it all depends if I can clear out some old collectibles and stuff. Maybe I can use it to purchase some of those. But for right now, I'm kind of just in limbo. Yeah, Jacob, I almost pulled the trigger on that Black Canary from Prime 1, but then I said, it's a 1/3. Where the hell am I gonna put it? And then they did say that they do have a Power Girl in the lineup. So if they make a 1/3 Power Girl, that'll probably be the only 1/3 I can ever display because I don't have room for anything else. Yeah, Terrell, the pricing on them is not bad. Of course, shipping is what's gonna kill you though, because shipping's gone up like crazy. But it's a cool looking statue. What the hell, you know? I did do a tour of my collection, I think on my YouTube channel, like a long time ago when I purchased this house around 2012. But that stuff is, a lot of it's gone now. So right now my collection room is a complete mess. Well, it's my TV room because I have comic books all over the floor I've been going through. I'm clearing out stuff. So once I replace a boiler, hot water boiler, because not the hot water heater, the boiler for my baseboard heat in a couple weeks, then I'm gonna start redoing the floor in the house by next year, and then I'm gonna build a display case that's actually houses everything, and then I'll do the tour. It's not really a tour, it's one room, that's all I got. So that's down the line. I got a lot of work to do. I've been squirreling away money for a few years, and I got to get all this stuff done. Last year my the furnace started sounding like a blowtorch, so it's got to be replaced. And then I got to pull up all the carpet that's coming up and do a vinyl flooring. And then my college buddy in PA knows a carpenter that's a friend of his. We're going to talk, and he's going to help me cut wood, and I'm going to make a better display case. Because the Sideshow Power Girls that I'm getting, they're like 25 inches, and they'll never fit in my Besta cases. Yeah, I'm down to my own collection that I'm keeping. I'm down to 4 long boxes and 3 CGC boxes. But right now I got about 4 long boxes I need to kind of sell, so I'm kind of been calling some people to see if they want to just take them off my hands. But what I'm also doing though is I decided that a lot of my books I can get graded and I can sell them off. So I'm actually waiting for CGC to grade. You know what I'll do is when I get the box in, I'll open them up on the stream. But those are being graded so I can sell them off, probably make a little profit, and I could probably pay for all my flooring. That's kind of what I'm doing right now. No, I don't like those industrial shelves. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about those things over there. Those shelvings. You know, these things. I'm not really like the way I'm gonna build my display case and stuff. I'm not going to go that route. I want like hardwood or like wood I can stain. I like stain type stuff, and then I'm gonna see about like glass panels for the cases, and then that's it. Yeah, I have a bunch of those Vampy books, not Vampirella, Vampy, and those are some of the ones I'll be selling off too. You know, I found books in my collection, like I had first appearance of U.S. Agent. I didn't even know I had that. I had first appearance of Century. I have a couple other first appearance books. I have some other key books, and they're in great condition, so I said, screw it. I'm going to send them in to get graded, along with some other stuff. And then hopefully, if they sell off well, I could pay for flooring. And then maybe it'll help pay for the collection, you know, shelving next year. There's a lot of key books I had I didn't even know. My college buddy, I went through his books. He has first appearance of Venom, and he had first appearance of Deadpool. Yeah, I had those books too back in the day, but I got rid of them. I don't even know why. But I sent those in to get graded for him because he needs funding. So sometimes you just gotta cull your collection in a certain way to pay for other stuff, you know? But yeah, I think CGC's backed up. I think I sent the books in 2 months ago, and they finally just opened them up now for grading. But I don't think they're going to get to grading them for like another month or two. But I think once they'll come in, what we'll do is when I get it in, I'll, whenever we kick on the live stream, we'll open them up, see how they come out. Yeah, I collected from the 90s as well. You know, I'm a 90s kid. I had a bunch of 80s books, but they're all banged up because I used to get them at the, what is it, the 5 and Dime shop, I guess that's what it was called. I don't remember what it was called, but it was like a 5 and Dime shop and they were on the racks. But they were all bent to hell. But that's the thing, is if you guys are planning on getting rid of your collection, what I've been doing is I've been looking at all my books, but I've been looking at what they're graded at a 9.8 and what they've been selling for. And it's amazing how many books I have that have been selling anywhere from, like, you know, $200 to $600. It's absolutely insane what some of these books went up in price. So I figured, you know, there's no sense in me keeping this stuff anymore when I really want to set up the house. I sold all my Onslaught books on eBay. I had like the first appearance of Onslaught graded at a 9.8. I had a couple of the others graded at a 9.8, and they sold for a crazy amount of money. And the only reason why I got those books graded was because I loved Onslaught's storyline. But I never thought he would come back in comic books, so he came back, and sure enough, I put them up on eBay and they sold. So that's part of the boiler fund. What else went up? I was looking, some of the image books have gone up in price, which is actually shocking. Like, you know, all those image books that were so overproduced, like some of these 9.8 image books now are going for like $100 or more graded. I'm like, when the hell did this happen? And I got rid of all that image stuff. I mean, I think it was my aunt's nephew, or my aunt's brother's nephew. Or someone, I don't know. He was young at the time, and he was getting into comic books, and I had literally like 20 long boxes of books, and I had to get rid of stuff. So I think I gave him 3 long boxes of just trash, and a lot of it was image. And now some of those image books I gave him probably were in mint condition. I could have got them graded at like a 9.8 and sold for crazy money, but who the hell knew? I guess the 90s are coming back. Like the Marvel cards skyrocketed. I made money off of those. 90s books are key now. But then I guess since comic books are sort of dying out and all the artists and writers are leaving the companies to go to Substack and the Kickstarter because everything's gone woke. So I guess comics are failing. So all the old stuff's going up now because that's the stuff people want. So if you guys got key books in your collection and you're looking to purge, seems like now's a good time. But I think we're going to call it a night anyway. It's kind of late. I want to get cleaned up. So at least I got some of this done. Hopefully next week, if I get my ass in gear, we can actually start working on the base for Daphne. And I can get the video up this weekend of Velma, the Harley Quinn, and the Cyclopses. I got to film that stuff. So maybe I'll do that stuff tomorrow night and edit everything on Sunday. So, thanks for stopping by, guys. Had a lot of fun today. And hopefully, if you guys are around during the week, I might do some more Picardo streams working on that Vanessa kit. So, if you're around, check out the Picardo and have a good weekend.